guys, my name is Elizabeth. I welcome you all to Elizabethan Fashion Academy. Today I'll be taking you guys how to draft a basic bodice pattern. So now let's get started. So guys, this is the measurements we'll be working with: your half length, your bust circumference, your waist circumference, and your shoulder. So if you are drafting on a pattern paper, you leave this edge open. It's when you are transferring to your clothes, that's when you fold your clothes, then you place your pattern paper on your clothes, then you trace it and cut it out. Then you need to leave a space up here. This line that is showing here to indicate our starting point, because I cannot start here, you won't understand it better. So me leaving a space here now, I can it will indicate our starting point. So now watch closely as I begin to mark my measurements on the pattern. Now I'll measure my half length, which is 16, from this edge downward. Then this is my 16 here. Then I'll add 1 inch for seam allowance. That makes it 17, so you can just measure your 17 inches straight here. Then you come to this edge also and mark it here also. Then connect the lines together just like this. So after connecting your length lines together, you go back to the top, to the beginning, to indicate your shoulder measurement. And my shoulder measurement here is 16 inches. So I'm going to be dividing 16 inches into 2. Then 16 divided by 2 gives me 8. So I'll mark my 8 inches here, which is it here. Then I'll add ½ inch for seam allowance. That's when joining my sleeve, so there will be space for me to join that. Then after that, to get the armhole line, you need to divide your bust into 4. So my bust here is 36 inches. Now 36 inches divided by 4 gives me 9 inches. So I will come down from my shoulder line, don't forget, you come down by 9 inches, which is here. Then you mark your shoulder line here also, just to get a straight line, which is 8.5. Then I'll connect my lines together. Bring it out like this to gives it an L shape. So a bit of this is okay. Then the next step now for you to do to get the armhole curve, you can use your armhole curve measurements just like this. Sorry, you can use your armhole curve ruler. Then connect your line together like this to give it that curve shape. Or for the sake of those that doesn't have the armhole curve ruler, you can come out here from this angle here. You just come out by 1.5, which is here. Then you connect your lines together just like this. That's for the sake of those that doesn't have this armhole curve, so you connect it. But it will be better for you to use your armhole curve ruler, so that will give you your perfect shape. So now the next thing for us to do now is to get our neckline. So you just come to the edge of your starting point here to get your neckline. you're going to be dividing your bust into 4. My bust is 36. No, sorry, you are going to be dividing it into 12 to get a perfect neckline shape, so that it will not be too big or too small. So I'll be dividing my bust by 12. My bust is 36 and I'll be dividing it by 12, which will gives me 3 inches. Then this is my 3 inches. You mark your 3 inches from the edge of your starting line, 3 inches. Then you add 1 inch to it. That's for the wideness, or you can make it any length you want, how wide you want it to be. That totally depends on your preference. Then for the depth, you can also come down by 4 inches. 4 inches is okay for me, or you make it to any length you want. You can make it 5, you can make it 6. It totally depends on your preference. So here I'll be coming down by 4 inches, which is here. Then I'll connect it together. I'll give it a straight line here, from here down here. Then I'll also mark it here also too. Then you can give it the desired shape you want it to be. Mine, I'll be using round neck. You just use your curve ruler to give it that shape. So that's it. Then for our shoulder slant, from your armhole line here, you come down by 1 inches. Then you slant it to your neckline. So here is our shoulder slant. So to mark your bust measurement, just come down under your armhole line. You can come down by ½ inch. Then you mark your bust measurement. My bust measurement is 36. I'll be dividing it by 4, which will give me 9 inches, which is here. Then I'll add my 2 inches for sewing allowance, like this. Then I'll come down to my waist. I'll do the same thing. My waist is 29. I'll be dividing it by 4. 29 divided by 4 gives me 7.25. That's 7.25. So this is my 7 here, and this is my quarter here. And I'll be adding 1 inch for that and 2 inch for sewing allowance, which is this part. Now connect my lines together on the sewing allowance, not the exact measurement. So I'm connecting my lines like this. Together from the bust measurement to my waist measurement. That's it. Then for the dart, you come in from this edge. You come in by 4 inches. By 4 inches. Is it? Then you come up from the waistline. You come up by 6 inches. Then you mark it straight. So on the both side of this line, this is our dart line. On the both side, you measure ½ inch on the both side. Here and here. So from the top here, from your 6 inches, just slant it to meet the half an inch measure here. Then do the same thing to the other side. So this will serve as a dart. And that's it for the front pattern. Now we can cut it out, but before you cut it out, you can also cross-check your measurements. If everything is perfect, then you can cut it out. Now I'll be cutting out the pattern. Okay, now you can see these are basic pattern, basic bodice pattern. This is for the front. Then for the back is very simple. All you need to do is just for you to place your front pattern on your back pattern. Then you add your zip allowance and cut. So you just place your front basic bodies on your back pattern just like this, and you leave some inches for your zipper allowance, which is this part. Then you trace it out. You can see that the back is very easy. You can pin it down to avoid your pattern being shifting. I won't become cutting out the neckline for the back. I'll do that later. So now this is it. Then for your neckline, it depends on the type of neck you want to do. For me now, I'll be doing eye neck, and for my eye neck, from my starting point here, I'll just come down by 1 inch. This is my point here. Then I'll use my curve ruler to bring out the eye neck shape. Just this way. Cutting it out. You can take away your front pattern and you just cut out the back neck. And for the down parts here, you come in by 1.5 inch. You come up rather, sorry, by 1.5 inch. Then you slant it to the edge like this. The reason for me doing this is to avoid my zip bugging at the back part. So this, I'll be cutting it out. You can see after fixing everything, coupling everything together, my zip will not be bugging at the back part. My zip will be straight, it will be flat at the back side. So guys, here is everything about our basic bodice pattern. Thanks for watching. I love you guys.